I'm not allowing myself to buy any books for June or July, so you probably won't be seeing a haul in a couple of months, but I gotta read. I gotta read what I've bought, and I'm going overboard. I've been going overboard with the shopping. We gotta stop. We have to stop buying books. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as promised, this is my second half of the book haul for this month. I have a stack. I have stacks and boxes and stacks. I just went crazy. But it was Mother's Day this month, or this past month. So I mean, what else am I gonna get? So grab a snack, grab a drink, some tea, some coffee, and let me show you everything that I bought. Not everything, because this is the second half, but I will link up in the cards the my book outlet haul, and so this is the second half, guys. Let's get into it, because it's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. So like always, I am going to start with my book of the month books, because let's just start with those. So for this month, so for the month of May, the book that I picked on the book of the month is The Perfect Mother by Amy Malloy, or Molly, or Malloy. I don't know how to say that, but oh my gosh, this cover, it's roses and it's just beautiful. So that's what I got, and this was May's pick. But you know, like always, I can't just pick the one book for the 1 month. I think I am going to do that for this month, because like I did say in the other video, I am going on a book buying ban, but I am still going to be getting my book of the month. If I find something that really sticks out to me, I am going to get a book of the month. But either way, I got 3 this month. And so the second book that I got is Final Girls by Riley Sager, or Sager. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. And this was the pick for July. And I think I heard the girl from Hardback Hoarders talk about this and how amazing it was. So I wanted to give it a try. And then the third book I got is one that has been raved about, that they say is amazing, is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't think I've ever read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I do own, I think it's one of her other books, but everybody's just raving about this book and the twist that it has. So the next book that I bought, okay, so this month something weird happened. I bought an ebook. Now, I don't typically like ebooks. The only way that I do ebooks, if I find something free on Amazon that I'm really drawn to, which they do have free books every now and then on there, or if it's a book from NetGalley that I am, that I got for review. Other than that, I don't do ebooks. I tend to just like physical books better. But I discovered and learned something about myself in the month of May. I love ebooks when it comes to books of like a collection of stories or short stories. I don't like books that have short stories, even though I do own a lot of them. But I like ebooks that have short stories for whatever reason. So with that being said, I did buy Joe Hill's, I don't know if you could see it because of the reflection, but I bought Strange Weather by Joe Hill on ebook, and I am loving it. I am currently reading that book. I read the first story and I am loving it. I put in a couple orders at thriftbooks.com. This is my first time ordering through them, I think. Yeah, this is my first time, and so I ordered a few books. So going with the first book that I bought is A House at the Bottom of a Lake by Josh Malerman. Y'all know I love Josh Malerman, and this book is so dreamy. Look at the cover with the lake and the boat and the house. I have already read this one, but you're gonna have to see in my wrap-up what I thought about it. But that's one of the books I bought. Second book I got from thriftbooks.com is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and it's collected from folklore and retold by Alvin Schwartz and drawings by Stephen Gamel or Gamel. That's what it looks like. And it's exactly what it is. It's scary stories. I have not dived into this one yet, but I'm hoping to. I've heard great things about this. It's like a very nostalgic book for people in their childhood and scary stories. I was not allowed to read or watch anything scary growing up. My mom was very strict with that. And if a movie was rated R, I couldn't watch it until I was of appropriate age and all that stuff. So I really don't know about those old books like the Hardy Boys or scary stories or things like that. I wasn't allowed to read. So I'm just, you know, like scuffing them down now. Next book I bought is Children of the Night by Dan Simmons. And look at that cover, how beautiful it is. I bought this one for the cover and also because I was reading Summer of Night and I enjoyed the atmosphericness. I know that's not a word, but just follow me. I like to make up words. But I just loved the atmosphere in it and like the creepiness in it. So I bought this one because it looked like the same thing. I mean, Children of the Night. Creepy, creepy. Next book I bought is a little bit nostalgic for me. It is Cactus Blood by Lucia Corpi. Now, this is a book that I read in elementary school. It is a it's Detective Damasco, if I'm not mistaken, Gloria Damasco. I read this book when I was in elementary. I think it was like 5th grade, 4th grade or 5th grade. I went to a private school, so the grading system was a little bit different. And we had to read a book and for English and then do a report on it. And this is the book that I picked. I picked it blindly. There was no actual reason, but I fell in love. I think this is when I found out that I loved thrillers and mysteries and like detective type of books. I fell in love with this book. And through the years, I actually checked it out of the library at the school. So never again did I actually like buy it, but throughout the years, throughout my whole entire life, I kept thinking about this book, and every time I would buy books, I'm like, man, I have to look for that book. And so for the free shipping on thriftbooks.com, which I don't get if they ship them separately, but either way, I saw this and I got it. I think it was like $3 or $4, and man, it is in mint. It's like brand new, a brand new book. There's no like, and it even came with like a plastic cover, like if it was a library book, but it had never been opened or anything. And so I really, really want to read this for nostalgic reasons. I'm so excited to have this one. This wasn't the cover that they had when I read it. I remember it being different, but either way, I'm just so excited for this. This is like a detective series. I didn't know that it was a series, but I think it's almost like you don't have to read one to read the other because it's just about that detective and the different work that she does. And then the next book I bought, I already told you guys that I bought it, is Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. I did check this out of the library when I did read it, but halfway through the book, I'm like, I want the book. It was my first Dan Simmons book and I loved the whole cover of it, and so I bought it. I do have a review of this book and I will throw it up on the cards for you guys. So that was my thriftbooks.com order. Then I also bought a few books on Amazon, or just one book. I bought one book off of Amazon, and that's The Wicked Deep. Everybody was raving about this book and how like atmospheric it was and how amazing and lovely it was. So I bought it, and I also bought it because this is the inside cover of it. It's so pretty. It's like the stars and the moon, and I know it's about like some witches that get killed and then they come back at a certain time every year, and they take over some bodies or whatever. But it's such a beautiful book, and it's blue. And then I always like to pass by my local Goodwill just to see what they have in books, because I recently found out that they had books. I barely go in there. So every now and then I'll just pop in there and check out the books they had. And I found these 4 books. I already have one of them. I already have one of the books that I bought at the library sale last month, but I found them all on hardcover and I was like, I'm gonna get them and then I'll just see what I do with the other one. But it is the Aragon series, all on hardback for $1.50, and they are in mint condition. So I got all of them. This is Brizinger. This is all by Christopher Paolini. I think this is the 4th book. I could be wrong. Eldest. I mean, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful editions. Hardcover. All for $1.50, man. So I had to get them all. I guess it was the same person that dropped them off. Inheritance, which is the green one. And then Aragon, which is the 1st book. So I was very excited to find these in such pristine conditions. And then the next load of books were all from Half Price Books. I went to Half Price Books quite a few times, but my my peeps took me for Mother's Day to the Waco store, which is like a superstore, or what do they call it, like a warehouse or whatever. And so I did shop there for Mother's Day, which was a lot of books. And then I just go to my local one like at least once a week at least to see what they have. And I got I have a box over there and I have 2 stacks right here. So let's get to it. First book is Awake by Natasha Preston, and she's the author of The Cellar. And so it's all like, I don't know if it's really horror or just thrillers. But I bought this one, and I also bought The Cabin by her. And I think this is about some, okay, let me see. I think one of these has to do with some girls being abducted and this man keeping them or something like that. Oh no, sorry, that's The Cellar. I didn't get The Cellar. Yeah, she has another book that's called The Cellar, and it's about these men that abduct some girls or whatever. But I don't know what these are about, but I think they're like either mystery, thrillers, or horror, something to that extent. Sorry, I don't have more information on it. The next book I bought is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson, and I already own this book and I have already read the story. It's one of my favorite stories ever. But when I saw the SF Masterworks edition, I just had to have it. It's just beautiful, and if y'all don't know, it's about vampires. I'm sure y'all have seen the movie, but that book just, it gets me. It gets me every time, and I actually want to reread it. The next book I got is The Isle of Blood, and this is the 3rd book in the Monstrumologist. I thought I had the 2nd book here, but I don't. I only have the 1st one, and it's by Rick Yancey. Beautiful, beautiful covers. I love the covers of these books. I haven't read the Monstrumologist yet. Oh, The Curse of the Wendigo is the 2nd book, and I thought I had it, but I don't. But now I have the 3rd one. Next is Night Film by Marisha Pessel. I've been wanting to read this forever. I know there was a time where people, such a floppy book. There was a time where everybody was talking about this, and a lot of people favorite this book. So I've been looking for it for a while. Because I didn't want to buy it full price. I'm cheap. But I found it at the Half Price bookstore over there in Waco, so I was excited for that. Then the next one is The Regulators by Richard Bachman or Stephen King. Same. This is the book that has the 2 covers and they make one complete picture, and I was so happy to find it over there at the Half Price Books in Waco, because I'm happy that I got both of them now. Next is another Stephen King book. This is Lizzie's Story. I have never heard of this book, but so you see the shovel there. Look at how beautiful the inside of this book is. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is just beautiful. So that was a cover buy. I have never heard of this book or this story or this novel. Never heard of it, but I had to have that cover. Oh, so pretty. Okay, and then the next thing is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, but it's this edition. I have a bunch of editions there. I love Alice in Wonderland. It's one of my favorite stories. It's just so crazy and like weird. But yeah, it's such a big a big edition of Alice in Wonderland. Okay, and then like I mentioned in my book outlet haul, I did buy 2 more books of the Hardy Boys, and so book 2 is The House on the Cliff by Franklin W. Dixon, and then I got the 3rd book, which is The Secret of the Old Mill. Look at those covers, just the covers. I love, they're so cute. I guess it's nostalgic for me because I remember seeing these growing up. But just holding them in my hands, it's so weird. Wow, 1927, 1955, 1962, and 1990. Like, old, 1920 something. That's crazy. But yeah, I bought books 2 and 3. For these next couple of books, I'm sorry I didn't take the stickers off, but half price books, y'all know. This one is The Enemy by Charles Higson. I don't know anything about this. I just went into half price books and it looked interesting. It looks interesting. What does that mean? But I think it has to do with zombies. So I hear zombies, and I just automatically buy it. I don't care. Next, these next 2 books are by John Connolly, and they are The Book of Lost Things and The Nocturnes. This is The Book of Lost Things. Never read anything by this one. Is this short stories? No, maybe it's not. They were just sitting there at half price books, and I was like, why not? Why not? So this one, and then the Nocturnes, whatever. But it's that one, and the purple book, and the cover. These were also cover buys and color buys because they just seem so interesting. See, this is why I bought the financial planner in my other book haul, because I need to stop myself sometimes. And so this is crazy. Next, this is all like fairy tales, fairy tale retellings. We have Holly Black, Neil Gaiman, and many more, and it's called Beyond the Woods. A beautiful book. They had a few covers or a few of these at half price books, and so I bought it when I saw Holly Black and Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is the one that pushed me. But okay. Alrighty, so then my last chunk of books was just my latest trip to half price books. But I found this whole collection. I have never heard of this, but I just found it so cute, and I'm like, this needs to be on my bookshelves because it's just cute. But it's books 1 through 12. I have it sort of the other way here. Let me fix it so that y'all can see. But basically, the spines make up the titling of the series, which is the Cirque du Freak. The Cirque du Freak series. They're all different things, but it's books 1 through 12. And they had all of them, and I was just like, they were like $3 each, so I had to buy them. And you see it, how it spells Cirque du Freak, and then it has all the different books, but they are by Darren Shan. Oh no, they're not by Darren Shan. It's the saga of Darren Shan, Cirque du Freak, A Living Nightmare. I don't know who, I guess it is Darren Shan. I don't know who wrote this. But let me read to you the first book, because I just found it so interesting. But this is, I don't know if this is children's or middle grade. It's probably middle grade. I don't remember what section I got it from, but I was an ordinary boy until I visited the Cirque du Freak, until I met Madame Octa, until I came face to face with a creature of the night. That's when my life changed completely. I don't expect you to believe me, but everything I describe in this book is absolutely true. So that caught me right off the bat, and I was like, I'll just take all of them. Thank you very much. My husband was laughing at me. So yeah, I got all of those. Y'all think I'm crazy, don't you? I see you judging me. I see you judging me. But you know what? Y'all are going to judge me very hard with one of these books. And I'm fine with it. I'm okay. There's no big deal. The next book I got is The Library at Mount Char. Mount Char or Mount Char. I don't know. But it's by Scott Hawkins. And it's this one right here. I've heard good things. I've heard mixed reviews about this. But I love the cover and the story itself. The synopsis really caught me. So it says, a missing god, a library with the secrets to the universe, and a woman too busy to notice her heart slipping away. So thought it was interesting and I bought it. Next book is by Holly Black and it's The Darkest Part of the Forest. This video is already 24 minutes long. Sorry. Don't know anything, but I just read The Cruel Prince and I know that she writes all about fairies and stuff and the dark side of fairies, so I bought it. Next one is my best friend's exorcism, and it's just such a like 80s vibe kind of cover, and even the back, it looks like a VHS from the back in the days. So I thought that was cute, and I heard that this is not so much as scary as it is just a story of these two friends, and then the friend does get possessed or something, and so it's just that story. I'm gonna leave the judging book to the end because the next two books I bought are from Maggie Stiefvater, and it's The Raven Boys. It's book 1 and 2. They didn't have book 3, but I've never read these, and I've heard that these are amazing, especially the audiobooks. But I've always wanted to read the Raven Boys series, and so I bought books 1 and 2. It's The Raven Boys and then The Dream Thieves. I'm so interested in reading these. I've been wanting to read them forever. Fine, because I hear you guys. I hear you guys through the screen. And I'm going to give you the book that's going to make you judge me. And it is Zombies versus Unicorns. And it's written by Holly Black and Justine Larbalestrier. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say it. Justine Larbalestrier or Larbalestrier. I don't know. But that's the cover. And so when you slip this off, look how cute that is. Of course, cover by, and because I saw that it was Holly Black, and because I like zombies, and because I like unicorns. So go ahead, y'all can judge me, I don't care. But look at the inside, how pretty. So I don't know, we'll see what this book is about. Have any of you read this one, or even, I've never heard of this book. I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, really? And it ended up on my cart. And then the last and final book I'm so excited about. I have realized that this guy has become one of my favorite authors, along with Josh Mellerman, and I think he's gonna be one of those auto-buy authors, and that is Joe Hill and the Fireman. There's a big hefty chunker of a book, but Joe Hill is one of those authors that just suck me in and can enthrall me, and I can devour his books like nothing. Nosferatu, let's not even talk about that one. It's one of my favorites, and that was actually the first book that I read by him. So I'm excited to read about this one. This is an older book, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. And I mean, look at that cover. That's so cute. Not really cute because there's fire and stuff, but I know this has to do with some virus that breaks out, and basically people just start bursting into flames. So I had finished recording. I went to like put my books away and back on the bookshelves and stuff, and I realized that I left Barnes & Noble out of my haul. Like, how could I do that? How could I forget about my Barnes & Noble haul? So I had gone to Barnes & Noble for 2 books, and I walked out with 6 books because they were having some sort of sale. Excuse me. So the book that I originally went in to Barnes & Noble for, because they hadn't brought it into Half Price Books for whatever reason, and I needed to have it in my possession because he's one of my favorite authors, and it took me a while to get the book, but it's in my possession now. I am currently reading it, and it is Unburied Carol. And so I am currently reading it. I am about 50 pages in. So excited about this one. I had to have that book. And then the other book that I went in for that I've been wanting to read and I've been wanting to buy, but since I've had so many books, I just didn't. But whatever. It was Leah on the Offbeat. Now, I have not read Love, Simon. Not Love, Simon, that's the movie. I haven't read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I think it's the name of the book, but I did watch the movie. I went with my daughter to watch it. I have not read the book, and because I watched the movie, I don't want to read the book, but I do want to read the book. So what do you guys suggest? Should I still pick up the book and read it? But I did buy Leah on the Offbeat because she was my favorite character, or my favorite character in the movie. I just loved her, even though I didn't agree with her in one of the scenes. But I loved her so much that I bought the book. But do you guys suggest that I read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda? I feel like I want to, but I feel like I already saw the book. So I don't know what to do. Let me know what to do. And then the next two books that I bought, actually the next three were part of a sale. And it was buy two, get the third book for free. And so I completed my Southern Reach Trilogy collection, and I bought book 2 and book 3. So book 2 is Authority, and then book 3 is Acceptance. So I'm excited for these. These are a little bit thicker than the first book. Again, I don't know anything about it except what I've seen on the trailers of the movies. But so glad. I mean, the covers, just like with the other one, it's just so simplistic. Like this one's an owl, and then this one's a rabbit with a cell phone. Just so simplistic, but so colorful and beautiful. I love it. And then the third book that I got from that particular sale was The Perfect Stranger by Megan Miranda. And I do have All the Missing Girls. I don't think one has to do with the other or whatever, but yeah. All the Missing Girls, it's right down here. I do have that book, and I love the covers, and so I wanted to get that one. It's the only other book that I saw in the sale table that I knew about, or I knew the author. And then this other book, I had asked one of the sales people at Barnes & Noble for Unburied Carol because it just wasn't in the regular section of the adult books. I just couldn't find it. And so she directed me to it, and she had asked me if I had read Bird Box, and I was like, what? Like, do you not know? Of course she doesn't know. But I was telling her how that's my favorite book in the whole entire world, and blah, 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 blah. And so whatever, she pointed me to the book, and then she comes back with this book, and she's like, have you read? She's like, I'm supposing that you like mysteries and thrillers and all that. I'm like, yeah, I love them. Hello. And so she was like, oh my gosh, this book just didn't let me sleep at night. She's like, I don't get scared normally with books, but I was like checking the door locks and checking it, and it just impacted me so much. And I was like, how can somebody tell you that and you be like, no, thank you. Once again, catchphrase, yes please. And so I bought it, and it's Into the Darkest Corner by Elizabeth Haynes. I've never heard of this author. It actually says, check the locks on your doors and windows and surrender to this obsessive thriller. So, I mean, she made it seem like it was like the best book out there. So, challenge accepted, like my boy Barney says over at How I Met Your Mother. Challenge accepted. And so I wanted to see what this fantastic book was about. So have any of you guys read this mystery thriller? It's a psychological thriller. And I think that's my favorite kind of thrillers, are psychological ones that really keep you thinking and really mess you up psychologically. But yeah, so now, that's all I have for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book haul. If what do you guys recommend I read from all of these books? I mean, I have a bunch of other ones, but what do you guys recommend I read first? Let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys again in my next one. Bye.